Round one. Fight.
Heroes never die.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
Power, sex, power. They both come down to one thing.
Hungry gamers.
Hello, and welcome, boys and girls, to the 115th episode of the Hungry Gamers podcast. We are powered by 8bit.net, Audio-Technica, and are a proud card-carrying member of the hashtag 8bit Collective. I'm not so humble host, Brendan White. Find me everywhere at Brendan8bit. Joined today, we've got the full assortment of personalities back here at the Hungry HQ. We've got Ali Hart, who can be found at Miss Ali Hart, and we've got Salim Abraham, who can be found at Salim TD. Good morning, you sexy legends. How yous doing?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr.
I don't know what that was.
School's in session, kids.
That was like school. You always like dragged it out in the morning. Good morning, Mr. White.
That's enough out of you, Hart. Get to the back.
Yep, that's school, right?
Yeah, so here we are, Sunday morning, high on caffeine, both warm and cold varieties. It's a beautiful day up here in Brisbane. I think it's about 20 degrees already. The sun is shining. Winston didn't do any wheeze or poos in the house this morning, so I'm happy.
Good Winston. Go Winston. Well done, mate.
Yeah.
I also didn't piss on the floor in my house as well.
Well done, Sam. Good for you.
That's a great start to the day for you, Dream.
Great start to the day.
Yeah. So how yous doing? It's been a while since we've had the Holy Trinity back together in the one virtual room, but we're here. We're looking good. Dream, you've got a nice festive T-shirt on there with some various flora.
I do. This is a Uniqlo number. It is for the listeners at home. It's a blue shirt with like pink flowers on it that I bought in a bid to be more trendy. And after one wear out in the public, realised that this shirt should be relegated to pajamas. So, having just woken up in this lovely shirt, styling for bed, you now caught me in it.
It looks like a level of peacocking that would actually work out and about, I thought.
It looks like something that 5 years ago Salim might have gotten away with, but not present day Salim. He just can't hack it with his dad bod.
I don't know. Dad bod is in, all right. You know, I
in for you, mate.
Strongly stand by. People would prefer a more burly man than a little twig. You know, you want someone that can at least look like they can potentially defend you in a bout of fisticuffs, as opposed to someone that could double as a bit of bean on your dinner plate.
Well, you can take that opinion, Brendan. I'll take the opposite and vigorously try to reverse the signs of aging. I'll let you know how I go.
Can you let me know as well? Jesus.
I use Olay Ali for moisturizer. I don't know if you're using it. I don't know if you've seen my face lately, but there's not a line on this bad boy at all. Zoom in on my head right now if you can. It's a beautiful thing. There's not a couple of lines.
I was just about to say that.
I'll stop talking shit. Ali, how you been? I miss you, man.
Oh, I missed you guys too, shooting the shit, but it looks like you boys were managing quite well without me. Thanks to all the people that kind of filled my seat. At one stage, you had 2 people filling my seat, so I appreciate what that probably stands for. But yeah, I missed you guys, and glad to be shooting the shit with y'all.
Oh yeah, it's been a very dramatic week in the gaming sphere, as it always seems to be these days. Where there is the internet, there shall be drama, and we have unearthed quite a bit of drama to talk about, as well as some very nice positive reveals. It's bizarre to see so many big gaming reveals or further announcements to some big sort of tentpole titles. Second week of August or first week of August, which is very bizarre. But I'm happy. I'm excited with some of the stuff we saw this week. But I guess we could start off with, what have you guys been playing this week? Tell me all the things, anything new, old, or otherwise that has been in your hands.
Well, I really haven't been playing something new, but I got to finally try Dragonball FighterZ on Switch because they've got a beta going on at the moment. Yeah, that's right, Sam. I went and played a fucking fighting game. I think right now they're just stress testing it, but I gotta say the multiplayer interface to get into an arena and stuff kind of confused me quite a bit.
Is it the same where you have a small avatar and you're running around a little map? Yeah, it's not the best.
It really confused me.
It's a bit shit. I think it's because it's their way of sort of making the community aspect of the game a bit more prominent. That's the only reason I can think of. Otherwise, why wouldn't you just have a menu? You know?
Well, I just wanted to set up just like a versus with someone on my friends list, but it's nah, you gotta run around and do this and do that, create a room, jump in an arena.
Even to select your team loadout, you have to pre-select it before actually going into a versus mode option, which is so. It is actually. It's a very. It
sounds very antiquated.
It's unintuitive. It's so unintuitive. I've never actually talked about it with anyone before because it's never come to my mind. But now that I'm thinking about it, it sucks.
It is a roundabout way just to go to a friend. Hey, you want to fucking play some Dragonball? It took quite a lot of learning to just get into a goddamn versus game. So, and then be realizing, I can change the fucking characters in this pre-choice loadout kind of thing. So, in regards to gameplay, though, I found it a bit finicky, and because I guess I'm so used to it on the Switch, I just kept on using the Joy-Cons and not going into the D-pad, which might have been a bit more beneficial for fighting games.
Get on that Pro Controller. Get on that Switch Pro Controller. That'd play really... I haven't played it, so I've got no skin in this game right now, but I think it'd lend itself to it well. I've played Street Fighter on that Pro Controller, and it is...
From memory...
I guess
it's only quarter circle motions that are the most complicated motions in that game. As in down, forward, or down, back. I think that's it. I might have that wrong. But yeah, that's the most technical you have to get with movement in the game.
Yeah, I think when it comes to actually, putting movesets and everything together, it didn't seem too difficult. But I think I definitely was at some kind of disadvantage executing moves, I guess, a little bit through the Joy-Cons, because I know who I was versing was using the D-pad, and they were able to kind of start developing a move set and everything, and I was just button bashing. I mean, I've done it all my life since Mortal Kombat, so, but I won a bunch of times. So
hey, against your friend or against random players?
Oh no, I'm not doing random. I'm not gonna pull myself out like that. Jeez, no,
give it time.
But. No, I'm still never gonna really go in deep into fighting games, but there's always an element that I always want to try it out, and especially fighting games that have really cool characters to play and a bit of versatility, and this Dragon Ball, when we demoed it last year, when we played it last year, Sam, just the graphics alone, I'm just this is so cool.
It is. It really is, and I think it's actually the best version of a Dragon Ball Z fighting game ever. I think it's better than Budokai. I think it's better than the Xenoverse games. I actually really loved playing it. I just couldn't it gets so technical with the combos that you have to do, and they go on for so long, and they're so time sensitive, and I don't love whinging about things being too hard, but I just didn't want to wrap my head around it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely also seeing that this game is slowly like coming into like the I'm not sure if it's, or is it already in the esports kind of?
It was at Evo.
Okay. Yeah.
Like a week ago. Yeah, so it's the biggest fighting game tournament in the world.
Well, that's cool then. Like, I like that this game is actually, well, for me personally, I'm seeing it more and more in the esports environment now. So, I mean, it's good to see another game in the platform, especially with fighting. So, something a bit different.
It definitely deserves it. Like, it's definitely one of the fighters that's technical enough and that the skill cap's quite high. So it's like, it's enjoyable, and I'm pretty sure it's pretty balanced. Like, I don't think there's anyone in there that's too OP. But they're introducing more characters too. Like, I think they've just added two more, a Bardock and alien version. Nato will know who this is. The alien version of King Supreme Kai or whatever it is. Any Dragon Ball Z people will know and get that. I don't get it. But I think Bardock's coming as well. Bardock, the legendary Super Saiyan, which is timing up with the new movie that's coming out.
Yeah, that was good timing, wasn't it?
Yeah. Cool. I'm glad you're into it. I love it. I love Ali that plays games that I enjoy. That's my favorite kind of Ali.
Yeah, it's nice when people like kind of get into games that you can play and you enjoy. Then you can actually establish a conversation with people. I don't think I'll ever be able to do that with games I kind of play. So.
I'll play a titty game for you.
You're gonna play a titty game for me?
Yeah, just recommend one.
You'll have to grin and bear that, Sam. I don't want you to put you through a strain of like having to play a titty game. But,
I'll slog through it. It'll be okay.
I nearly, on the titty game front, I nearly bought one on the Switch the other day just because I wanted to sort of dive into that Ali Hart world and see how it feels.
See how she lives.
But I need to research the game a little bit more to see if it's a worthy investment. But I think I'm gonna take the plunge.
I can tell you now, Senran Kagura is bringing out a pinball game. If that's okay for you, like it's. I've already looked at the gameplay. What are the paddles going to be? So the paddles are paddles,
little dicks?
But yeah, no, but like
the little scrolls that they pull out of orifices of their body.
I'm glad you remembered that. I'm glad you remembered that.
It's hard to forget, Ali. It's very hard to forget.
But no, it has like the girls, like, you know, like wearing like scantily clad clothing, and they're sitting on like the pinball, like I don't know what it's called, like the interface, like, and they're sitting in the middle. So like you'll hit the ball and the ball like kind of bounces against their hand or their tit or whatever, and then you have like little special bonus rounds where you're hitting the ball and you're trying to hit their clothes off.
Sounds like
I'm talking about
game.
video games, guys. This is me talking about video games. But you know, I always love when they throw that kind of element into it. Just a very simple game of, hey, it's pinball but boobs. So look out for that on the Switch, I think, coming up.
Mad. That and definitely probably Steam. They're the two places you'd find these games now. It used to just be Steam or like Newgrounds, but now the Switch. They're like, hey, we'll accept some of your smut as well. Come on over here to the Nintendo eShop,
to the family-friendly platform. Yeah.
Fun for the whole family.
That's it.
But also on the Switch, I got back into Splatoon 2 because, newsflash everyone, I'm no longer a pleb with terrible internet. So I was actually able to maintain internet connection through a whole match of Splatoon 2. And fuck, I love that game. I forgot how much I enjoyed Splatoon 2, especially the whole concept of me like yelling at like little shits on the screen and like assuming that's probably some 5-year-old that's enjoying themselves and stoked that they killed me. But I can't explain how like fun this game is. 3-minute battle rounds of you just like painting, like paintballing a arena your color, and then also beating the shit out of other people. But it's so addictive and fun. Has anyone played Splatoon yet?
I'll have to join you. I've got it, but I've barely given it much of a look, to be completely honest. And even with the first Splatoon, I played a little bit of it way back when, but never played anything online. It was more so just the offline sort of functionality. So I'd be keen to get in and maybe smash some of them little bastard children with you.
Yeah,
put them in their place with a bit of paint.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's strangely addictive, and like I said, 3-minute rounds, so it never really feels like a match goes for too long, and then by the time you're out of a match, you're already in the next one. The only problem is that you can't really get into a battle like a mode like with your friends unless you do a private. So like you kind of have to join onto a friend. So that kind of sucks. But they also have completely forgotten what the mode's actually called, and it's kind of like a horde mode. And you kind of like collecting like eggs, but you're also you're battling waves and waves and waves of enemies, and they're all kind of different enemies. That is a level of stress and anxiety that I can't even explain. Like, it's absolute torture. I don't know. If people have a Switch, I recommend playing it. It's a good time kill, and not to mention you get to change the fashion of your little squid kids. So
Very
you can
important.
really, you get to dress up. So being a female's, very, 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 very on point. The only other game I've been playing about dressing up is Destiny 2. Getting on that grind again because I'm a sucker for punishment. And luckily enough, I had people join me last night.
Yeah.
Isn't that right,
I was
you
one
mean?
of those people.
Yes, you were.
Yeah, I'm included.
Yeah.
I haven't really gone as far down the rabbit hole as sort of you and NATO were doing yesterday, doing all these armor-based upgrade quests and things that they've chucked in there.
It's a punish.
Yeah, you get this lowly green armor set, and you've got to go through and do various missions and various challenges and kill X amount of enemy in the Crucible and so on and so forth. Then it becomes upgraded to blue, and then you get a whole other set again. Then it goes to purple, and you get a pretty shit hot set of armor at the end of it. But yeah, I don't know. I did the Crucible stuff with you yesterday. I'm enjoying the meta in the Crucible, the changes in there. Sadly, the SMG that I was in there wrecking house with is now just turned into a piece of poo. So I had to sort of pivot on how I played pretty quickly. But I like that it's back being 6v6. The added level of chaos from just having 2 extra enemies and 2 extra teammates in the squads really dials up the tension. Some of those older maps were great.
I feel like the fluidity of the PvP now is really good because I felt like with 4 vs 4, I've always felt like you were chasing for the other enemy, but I feel now like with 6, it's just straight on like confrontation, like straight up. Like you're not looking for it anymore. You always and that's the way I prefer to play it. And I always loved PvP on Destiny, so it was actually really enjoyable. Yeah.
It's the best. It's the PvP on Destiny. We've said it 100 times on this show. It's the best in any FPS.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the tightest gunplay.
Oh, definitely. But now with this new armor grind, and I actually appreciate it. I feel like it is back to the roots of D1, especially now where they have the kind of bounties that you can pick up as well. I'm kind of enjoying that because it does take me back. In regards to the grind for the armor, where you kind of pick up elemental orbs, like your arcs and all that
Voids
sort of shit.
And stuff.
Yeah, like that can be a punish when you think you're picking up enough, and then it turns out you only got 20%. Yeah, and I'm still trying to understand how you complete all tasks to get onto the next round. So, but the bounties, bringing bounties back, or little sets that you pick up and then you go out. I enjoy that. I always love that. Kind of miss. Was it Xander? Was that his name?
Xander,
the little robot.
Yeah.
I'm getting FOMO listening to you two at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, the Forsaken DLC drops next month, so you've got some time to get a character and start grinding.
Yeah.
And you'll probably get there quick. Truth be told, with the way gears work in these days, you'll get up into into the 300s, into your gear score really quick.
I don't know. So Battle for Azeroth drops on Tuesday, and I don't know that I don't know that I need another grind heavy game in my life that I'm trying to be the best at right now.
It's like a one or the other kind of thing.
There's only so much time, and I've got a pipeline of shit to do as soon as Battle for Azeroth drops. I've got 3 characters now to level up to max level.
You're ridiculous.
And then I've got professions that need to be leveled up to max level, and then I've got to make gold, and then I've got to start grinding for raid, to be raid ready. So doing a gear grind to make sure that they're kitted out nicely. And then in my downtime, PvP. And then occasionally when I have a bit more time, I'll eat, sleep, and occasionally scratch myself.
And maybe work and do real life stuff too.
Work,
I don't know where you fit it all.
That stuff, yeah. So it's going to be messed up. So yeah, I can absolutely squeeze Destiny 2 right in with that.
Yeah, go for it. It'll be easy.
I actually want to. I really want to.
Well, playing Destiny 2, I also want to, because you're in that interface now of, Battle.net, I kind of want to jump back on Overwatch. I don't know why. Maybe the summer skins have kind of drawn me in a little bit, so I'm thinking I want to kind of go back to Overwatch as well. So
I installed that too.
I could do that.
Yeah, did you? Yeah? You want to do Overwatch?
Yeah.
Because that's easy.
my
You can
God.
jump on, play a few games, jump off. It's not as dedicated as Destiny.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
should be able to do that, but it never happens with me. One more match. Just one more match.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to download that today, and I'll play you guys tonight if you want.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We can find some time to have a couple of rounds tonight.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, that's what we're doing for the remainder of the day. The remains of the day.
Loot boxes. Oh my god.
Yeah, so I guess what I've been playing, I've fallen off the Octopath train. I can't remember if I mentioned that on the previous episode that I was starting to feel sort of a little bit lost with it. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just not feeling a JRPG right now. But it just seems so repetitive at the moment for me. Just grindy, trying to level up my party. And sadly, I've sort of skipped through some of the story parts just because I was getting a bit bored. So I haven't sort of watched various little cutscenes and things that sort of obviously disclose more of the arc that you're currently sort of fighting your way through. It's a great game and it's gorgeous, but yeah, I've just had to put it aside. I'm about 30 hours in, but yeah, I've put it aside. I'm like, nah, I'm not vibing this right now. Maybe I'll come back to you, Octopath. Maybe I won't, but I enjoyed my 30 hours. I enjoyed working out the optimum party and the best sort of class dynamic to get in there and maximize my ponage levels. So yeah, it was good, but yeah, sorry, you've been put aside. I tried the new Sea of Thieves DLC. I forgot to actually mention on the episode before last, but I just wanted to bring it to light really quick. The Cursed Sails DLC dropped about 2 weeks ago now. Which brings with it the way of skeleton ships and another sort of quest line as far as adding more story and lore to the game. But truth be told, that the DLC itself, the skeleton ships are cool, but outside of that, it was literally just a carbon copy of the Songs of the Deep DLC. It was like, okay, go there, find this person's diary, read that clue, go to the next place, find a diary, read that clue, and it was literally just rinse and repeat from the previous one, which was a bit on the nose for me. Like, it's free, so okay, I can't complain, but if they put a dollar amount on that thing, I would be fucking pissed, because it was the same thing from the previous to a T.
Yeah. I mean, what else can they add to Sea of Thieves apart from, little quests like that, like retrieve, solve a riddle? Like, what else can they add? Like,
I think maybe even more so, instead of just having you get there and you click through some text in someone's journal, maybe have a little small cutscene. Give me 30 seconds of what that says in there, just with the characters that are, wrote that journal, playing that out. Something like that would just add a little bit more depth to it, because at the moment it's certainly at the Mariana Trench, that game. It's more so like a little rock pool as far as how deep it goes. So I hope it changes. Like, I still enjoy it. I love getting on there and sort of talking nonsense with your pirate crew and sailing around and getting in sea battles and stuff. I think that's really cool, but outside of that, there's just not a whole lot of life outside of the life that you and your crewmates bring to the game. I think it's very hollow.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm going to actually jump back on Sea of Thieves now, because with bad internet, it wasn't a great experience for me. Like, I still enjoyed it as much as I could, but you can only enjoy, phasing out of your ship and then falling into the ocean and then drowning so many times. I'm actually... ship. Yeah, just freaking, I was a ghost. But I am looking forward to going back and actually playing it to its full potential now, and obviously graphically and less lag. So I'll go back and I'll give it a try and see where it's at now and see if much is different and see if
you're like a newborn with new online video game experiences now. You're like, I can't wait to finally jump in this and feel that out. It's fantastic.
I feel like a kid. Like, I was hanging out in the 90s, but I was getting I was getting messages of all these wonderful games of the future that I knew that I couldn't play, and now I'm getting the chance to really play it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and
the
last one I don't want to dwell on too heavily is I finally got in on the Hunter action that Miss Hart and the NATO have been ranting and raving about for several months now. I'm enjoying it. We only played for maybe 2-ish hours, 2.5 hours, something like that. But I like the universe. I like the realism attached to it. Obviously, things like the noise you make, which way the wind's going, bullet trajectory and things like that. I think it's really cool. But I definitely need to try and find an outpost to get my vehicle because I was just walking around lost.
Are you also
in
aiming
the
for the
tundra.
sweet spot when you shoot?
No, I'm sort of head through to sort of chest is where I'm always aiming. I don't have the skill to shoot an animal in its taint. I'm just
The pucker.
going for headshots all day.
Right through the eye.
Yeah. So, but I killed a few animals, so it felt pretty good.
You
I don't feel entirely useless, but I definitely need more time invested to have a more rounded opinion on the hunter.
Definitely. And once you start upgrading your gear as well, the enjoyment levels just keep on going up and updating your stats and your perks and everything. Like, yeah, it just gets better and better.
Yeah, but from you're pretty much De Niro in Deer Hunter levels at the moment, and I am like, I don't know, Richie Rich, his first hunting experience. I'm out there just clueless, and you are just Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator, bloody covered in mud, stuck to a tree, just shooting animals as they cruise past. Like, I am just useless, and you're god tier. But I'm excited to work my way up and aspire to get to that level.
You'll be there in no time. The fact that you pretty much dropped in the map and then within like only a few minutes you've killed an animal, so
I think
Don't
that was
worry.
just the beginner's pity that they throw your way. They're like, here's a bone, boy, and now, feel good about the game.
In
So that's me. Dream, what about you?
So I've played 2 games this week. Neither of them are going to be at all surprising to anyone, but there are huge updates in both of those games. The thing I didn't play this week was The Last of Us, and I was sort of, on track to have it all completed. It's not a long game. I've just been sort of spacing it out a bit more than I probably should. So stay tuned for my wrap up of that next week. I just had a bit of... how I'll put this, I just had a really good reason to pick up Tekken Tag 2 this week.
Okay. What's the reason? Was it the Muda has issued a challenge?
Not Muda Moo. No, there was a big announcement earlier this week. You might have seen it. There's going to be 3 new characters joining Tekken 7's roster. One of them is Negan from The Walking Dead.
I saw that. My goodness.
What the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm so over it. Like, I'm a bit over these like crossover cameo characters coming in. Like, Noctis is the last one they did, and Noctis is just such an easy mode character. Like, you can button mash triangle or Y if you have an Xbox, and you'll just pull together strings that are so easy to do. So, and he's annoying to play
sounds like
against.
my kind of character.
Yeah, well, he's a lot of people's kind of character. So no doubt Negan's going to be another completely easy mode character that just has stupid bullshit moves. But the 2 other characters that got announced are 2 characters.
I saw your homeboys there.
The 2 characters that we've all been waiting for. One, Miss Anna Williams, and Chaboy's favorite character, everyone's favorite cop, Lei Wulong. Yeah, everyone loves him. He's the best. He's the absolute best. So I've been playing Tekken Tag 2 just to kind of get back in the rhythm of it. I was previously a Lei main, so
Yeah, you were.
This is my guy. I cannot wait for him to drop. So yeah, just doing a little bit of Tekken Tag 2. The other game, of course, in the lead up to the expansion dropping on August 13, of course, World of Warcraft and Battle for Azeroth. It's cool. Like, there's so much happening. For the last 3 weeks, they've had story content come in so that you can actually get started with this whole war that's brewing between the Horde and the Alliance. And there are scenarios happening. So they burned down the World Tree like 2 weeks ago, and that was the Horde. And Sylvanas is just this really evil person at the moment. Like, really evil. And I don't understand why she burned the tree. If anyone knows, let me know. But she burned a fucking tree down, slayed all the Night Elves. So the Night Elf city is actually in ruins now, and the Night Elf are completely displaced. The same has happened now to the Undead as well. So we got some revenge last week in the siege at Lordaeron. I'm hearing the words come out of my mouth right now, and it occurs to me it occurs to me that I've never sounded like more of a nerd in my life when I say 3 words together like Siege of Lordaeron.
But saying it so just casually as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think I've just
And I love the
become-
contrast between that talk and your trendy Uniqlo floral shirt. Like, it's just this weird juxtaposition, but it works. You make it work.
No one's gonna. Oh my god. I've just become unsexy. That's all it's been. Like, that's all it is. I've just really like. I'm
No,
slowly
you just
becoming.
removed yourself from one group and then just put yourself in the other group. So
I'm slowly becoming the guy from the South Park episode of World of Warcraft.
Now
I'm
that's
sure there's
sexy.
plenty of people out there that'd finger you, Sam. Don't worry.
Oh my god. I'm just having like a really big epiphany here. Maybe I'm wasting my whole life on this WoW game.
Don't worry about it. Like, it's funny how, like, as we get older and, it's in our, respective careers, and then the moments where you do find yourself talking about video games in an environment where people, a majority, don't, and then you realize that at some point you've just, like, kind of de-aged yourself in their eyes, like, like they just kind of like look at you like
I've got shit I need to do though, Ali. And you know what I did yesterday, Brendan? I was
What did
like,
you do?
I was out of stuff to do. Not that you're really ever out of stuff to do, but I was getting bored of a couple of things I was doing on my mains. Do you remember the Hunter I played years ago in Wrath of the Lich King? Valentine.
You mean
AV or whatever?
Valentine Ave?
I pulled him back out and I started leveling him.
You're a sucker for punishment. My goodness.
Yeah, fuck me, right? I got a problem. I think I got a problem. Is there an addicts, like a WoW addicts group?
there has to be.
There would be, eh? Yeah, for sure.
100%.
Maybe I should check it out. Maybe I could go in there and just size myself up
If
against
there
the rest
isn't-
of them.
If there isn't, you've got the facilities to make that happen, and you could turn it into a little money-making venture.
They're not really money-making ventures though, Brendan. They're about helping people. They're about rehabilitating people, not turning a buck.
Not yet.
I like that that's your instinct.
Brendan will find a way.
Yeah, sounds like a niche market to enter. All right. So anything else? Oh, the other thing as well, Hearthstone's new expansion, speaking of Blizzard stuff, Hearthstone's new expansion dropped last week, the Boomsday project, and it is pretty epic. It's pretty intense. There's a huge power level, like power creep in the game right now. The cards that they've just introduced are way better than the cards that were already there for the existing set. So crack out your wallets and get ready to dump some cash. You're going to need to get some cards to stay competitive. Yeah. I'm playing a Control Warrior deck. It's pretty fucking boring because every matchup I've had all week has been against other Control Warrior decks. So the games
I saw a
go
screen cap you posted, and you had 70 armor.
80 something armor.
No, it was 80.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's incredible. Like it'll even out. Like there'll be people playing other decks now, but on day one, because there was a new hero, a new Death Knight card, for the Warriors, like everyone wanted to play Warrior. And because the cards they introduced to sort of set up for a control deck, everyone was playing control. And yeah, fuck me, man. When you're doing nothing but hitting your hero power and just incrementally adding 2 armor to your character and dropping cards that build armor, but nothing offensive. Anyway, that's on me. That's not on the game. But it's a lot of fun. I encourage everyone who has ever touched the game to go out, spend money. Spend money on it. Spend all your money on it.
Money.
No, I'm going to spend my money on Overwatch, apparently.
All right, guy and girl, shall we move our way into the news?
This week's news headlines.
So the first thing I wanted to discuss today was the Red Dead Redemption 2 6-minute gameplay reveal trailer that Rockstar released earlier this week. 6 minutes of in-engine gameplay, going through, obviously focusing on Arthur Morgan, who are you going to be playing in Red Dead Redemption 2, showing you the world within, some nice sprawling vistas, some of the the sort of functionality and the interactions and the living universe that it's created. What do you guys think from that initial 6 minutes that Rockstar have showcased to us this week? Is there anything you wanted to focus on in specific detail? Anything that you liked or didn't like? Dream? I know it's probably freshest in your mind. You checked it out again this morning. So what do you reckon?
Look, first of all, it looks gorgeous. Like it looks pretty stunning. The lighting across the landscapes and the fog and the tree lines and just everything being so crystal clear. Like it actually looks like a game I would have a lot of fun exploring. I'd never played Red Dead Redemption 1. I never played the story. I only ever played it for, half an hour at a time, just being an absolute maniac, running through the town, grabbing people, lassoing them, and then dragging them on a horseback just because I was 20. So I don't
20,
actually...
it's what you do.
2022, I don't know.
That's what you do.
I don't actually know too much about the story other than just kind of like major plot details. I won't say them here because it's a bit of a spoiler, and I think it sounds like a good enough game that people should probably experience it on their own. But this takes place beforehand. This is a prequel, right? And I think you're explaining to me before the show today that there's going to be story elements from the first one that will sort of interweave with this one. It looks a lot of the same, but kind of better, if that makes sense, from the first one, from what I remember. So a lot of going around and killing people. There was a lot of town interactions. There was a bit of a slow down mode in the first one as well, if I remember correctly, where you could sort of slow things down and just target and
the
pull the
Deadeye
trigger.
mode.
That's it. But yeah, it looks cool. It looks like a lot of fun. And there's train robberies now as well.
Yes.
Train heists. Yeah, I got a pretty uninformed opinion of it. I'll buy it because it just looks fucking cool. Ali, I think you've probably got a much more informed opinion. What did you think when you watched it?
I mean, we had brought up previously that we hadn't seen any content coming out of no trailers or no gameplay anyway, and we had E3 pass and every other event where we're we didn't see anything of Red Dead, what's going on? But then after watching it, I kind of realized, I'm like, you know what, my opinion never changed about this. It still has my money. It always had my money. The game looked beautiful when we first got shots released, and it looks even more amazing, more breathtaking now. I like that in this reveal, with gameplay, that they also went into detail about the other little elements that they've added in. I'm looking, that sounds so pathetic, I'm looking forward to fishing and hunting.
Oh yeah.
I like,
and
the
especially
idea.
if we can do that together. Imagine it's all where they did that little scene where there's Arthur and two other gentlemen on that little canoe, and they're all sort of having a fish. Imagine if that's us three there, sort of wetting a line trying to catch a bass.
It's gonna be great. I do want more information about the multiplayer element. I kind of want to know where they're going with that. I want to know essentially if we are going to get GTA Online, but Wild West. If that happens, I would be over the moon.
I can't see why they wouldn't. GTA Online is just a success, and I think it's the best imagining of an online multiplayer for that game. You can't. What would you do differently for the online there? I think they really nailed it. So why wouldn't they just replicate it here?
If I can own an old saloon with a little whorehouse on the top as my sort of my place of business and home, my goodness, that would be magical.
You'd be Al Swenger, the little whorehouse of white.
You'd be Swedgen. Did you see, Brendan, speaking of Al Swedgen, did you see that they're doing a Deadwood movie? Did you hear that little...
There is a level of happiness that I don't think proper words can put in place to how I felt when I saw that. Deadwood's one of my most favourite television series of all time. It's got some of the best characters in any show that I've watched. And I'm a sucker for anything sort of old Western, that sort of late 1800s-esque era. And Al Swearingen is he's like a fan favorite for me. And anything more where we get Ian McShane being old Al Swearingen dropping some of them fucking hang dies and stuff will, make my day. Yeah, it's so good. I'm about to get Rach to sit and watch the show with me because she hasn't seen it yet. So I'm excited to do that viewing with her because it's such a good show.
Let me know if it holds up, because I actually never watched Deadwood.
It would hold up. Trust me, watch it. Yeah. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's HBO quality. Like, it's so good.
It's just a shame. It's another one of those shows a la Firefly where if they made it today, it would become huge and probably be a successful multi-year series as opposed to making one franchise or like one season or two.
I disagree with that. I think that it's so saturated now with Netflix. Like, the amount of out there interstellar sci-fi shows that they have running, it's too much to keep up with. I think it'd just get drowned out. I like it. I like where they sit in history. Deadwood and Firefly.
Yeah, it's just the Deadwood one. Like, at least Firefly got to write its own ending and had a fitting send off. Where Deadwood, at the end of that third season, where it was they're building up to this big war with the Pinkertons.
Yeah.
And it's this massive cliffhanger, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, the show's never coming back," and it's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, it's annoying. I know.
What? Yeah.
So Red Dead 2, yeah, fucking amazing. Brendan, what are your thoughts? Oh, but Hallie, did you finish? Sorry.
Yeah, like I also want to see the character customization, and I want to know more what's happening with the story. I want to know how diverse that story is as well. How many characters we meet.
Yeah, I'm excited. I like that they sort of ended this little 6-minute video with on the next video you're going to be learning about the missions and as Dream pointed out, the train heists and things like that. So this will be a bit of a multi-episodic thing leading up to the release on October 26th. But I like the setting up of the camp when you and the Vandalin gang are on the run between the respective counties. You set up camp in each of these areas, and that's your little hub to interact with your gang mates, to play poker, to go out hunting, to sort of boost morale of the camp and things like that. I like that there is this sort of living, breathing home base that you've got, which will be fun. Hearing some of the stories of the gang members will be pretty cool. They shared one of some older gentleman in there talking about how he was on the run for stealing a sheep or something, if I can remember right. But yeah, the mini games, like being able to go in and play poker. I'd love to sit down and try and take Dream's fake Red Dead Redemption money.
You'd never get me, man. You'd never catch me.
Yeah, and I like that there is sort of the morale system in the camp and the gang. So depending on how well you're faring and all the other sort of fetch quests you're doing, will sort of boost or lower the positivity and the negativity amongst your crewmates. I think that's really cool. And building them up, apparently when you do get them to higher levels of trust, they'll unlock secrets and new missions for you to go on. So there will be constant incentive to go back to your camp and keep working and keeping the crew happy.
No more lone wolf.
No more lone wolfing. But as Ali said too, the customization options, like finding, getting your own certain look of your cowboy and your own horse. Like they mentioned, different horses have different traits, so
yeah,
stuff like that too. Just being able to be your own person in that game and look and play the way you like. I like the other part in there where they're showing various ways you can either try and create a friendship or a bond or sort of aggravate NPCs.
Yeah.
There's a few button options where people are come past and you can sort of ignite a fight or ignore a robbery or jump in and get involved. I like that aspect where it is more of a living, breathing world. And doubling back to Deadwood Dream, that scene where you get thrown out of the saloon and you're having a brawl in the mud, just made me think of that bloody, really visceral punch up that Al's right hand man had in the mud of the streets. That's all I was thinking when I saw that part there. I don't know if anyone's going to lose an eye in that fight as well, but yeah, I'm so excited. If this game is like Deadwood in game form, holy moly, sign me up.
Yeah, I think it will be. And like just to echo what you were saying a moment ago about a living and breathing world, it definitely feels like that. I think the weather elements, I mean, it was very overcast in a lot of the shots there. It feels so real watching a lot of the gameplay footage we saw in this first part, which I love. And who doesn't? It's fucking. You want to feel connected to the game, and I think they've got everyone hook, line, and sinker at the moment.
Oh, definitely. I haven't, I have heard someone say ill towards it, but I guess they never were really attached to the franchise, so...
Is this NATO? I feel like something NATO would do.
No, wrong on that one.
Okay.
No, I think we're getting a lot of elements that ticks the boxes, and we're getting a lot of stuff that we are familiar with from the original Red Dead Redemption that we've played, and they're essentially grabbing the stuff that we love. We're going to get better graphics, we're going to get more, like different things that we can actually do and interact with gaming wise, and I think they're just leveling it up essentially, so how can you be disappointed with that, really?
Yeah, it looks great, and October 26th cannot come quick enough. I'm waiting now for this next sort of gameplay reveal that they do, showcasing more of this universe, because just that 6 minutes alone I was like, yep, this it's just confirmed everything that I've been feeling about this game ever since it was announced.
Yeah.
So, from what we sort of mentioned at the start of this episode, it was definitely a week of reveals. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate came out and did another little Nintendo sort of treehouse event, and they turned around and confirmed that Richter Belmont from the Castlevania franchise, as well as King K. Rool from the Donkey Kong Country franchise, are both making their way to the game as roster members of the game that comes out later this year. They also sort of talked about some Echo Fighters that'll have sort of Chrom from Fire Emblems, as well as Dark Samus. And then also Rathalos, which is one of the big dragons from Monster Hunter, will be an assist trophy, making their way to the game as well. So, this game...
He-Man Simon Belmont as well.
Yeah, it's it looks good. It looks really good. The character list in this game, it really is Smash Brothers Ultimate, as far as the roster they've got going.
Yeah.
They've also confirmed an Ultimate limited edition bundle that comes with a Nintendo GameCube controller, as well as the adapters and things. Sadly, there's no confirmation of an Australian-based release of that option yet, but US and UK listeners will be able to pick that up leading up to the release of the game on December 7th. But what do you think? I'm a casual Smash player at best. I'm not great. I've played in environments where it might be us sitting around having a couple of rounds. I'm not a competitive player. I'm not a really good player at the best of times. So, but I'm keen to get it and have some fun. But I don't know, Dream, did this ever attach to you? I know you're sort of the more fighter-based fan amongst us.
Yeah, a little bit when I was younger. Definitely the original Super Smash Brothers. I don't know anyone who didn't have that on the old Nintendo 64. I can fumble my way through the game, through later iterations of the game, because of what I remember from the first one. But it's just become so complex, and there really is a meta, and I'll say more advanced gameplay than you'd probably think. The people that play this game are fucking so onto it, just like any other fighter. Yeah. With this game, there are just so many characters. I literally could not, I couldn't explain the differences between them all. So to add two more, it's just my brain can't fathom what the impact is to the game, just to add two more characters to a roster of what is at least 50 characters from memory that all play very differently from one another. And we saw at E3 at Nintendo's presentation, that they had taken lengths to make the characters more different from each other, where they had similar movesets. So yeah, who the fuck knows? This is one for the Smash crew, though. There's so many people out there that'd be absolutely loving this news.
I mean, yeah, they're adding more characters into it. But the other thing that really impressed me from this presentation was the amount of stages that they're adding into the game. Like, they're adding like a lot of the original stages into the game, and there's also this other element where they're doing like a merger, like a stage will start as one and then it will change over to another stage midway, and you get to select which 2 stages beforehand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I thought that was really awesome. And the other thing is that they've also added an element where you pick your stage first and then your character, which makes sense because if you want to have the right character for the right stage, then pick the stage first, then pick your character. Also the partner trophies as well. They've added a bunch of partner trophies that come out. So I saw the little Animal Crossing one, which was Cap'n. He comes out in his little van and he picks up the person and drives them off the map, which was absolutely adorable. I actually was really impressed by this presentation on all the little extras that they added in, and they really love to gloat.
Yeah.
The only weird thing from this was the music. I love video game music. I really enjoy video game music, but the part where they kind of advertised it, they're like, you can put your headset into your Switch and then play it like it's a music player. And I'm like,
cool, man.
Okay, yeah, I guess you could do that. And I think they gloated about, was that 300 tunes or tracks or whatever?
800 tracks on this game.
Yeah, forget that.
So that was a bit different, but I'm like I said, like I love video game music, so I guess it'll be good for someone. But I was really impressed with this little presentation.
Yeah, just to.
I thought that was.
Sorry, Ali, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
just to add, and also a new stage. You were talking about how they're doing the stage merge. Belmont brings a Castlevania stage with him where Dracula sort of features a little bit. So who knows what he'll be doing in there. But yeah, for Castlevania lovers, I'm sure there'll be a lot of nods and Easter eggs.
Yeah, well, isn't Dracula going to be like a boss fight?
No,
cool.
Maybe. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
I don't know what the single player's like.
Well,
103 stages, 67 characters in this game.
Nice.
It's ridiculous.
The replayability is fucking enormous.
Yeah.
Plus, it's just a fun game, and I'm a casual fucking Smash Brothers player as well. So, I'm not really that good at it either. But no, I'm looking forward to this. I can't wait till it comes out. This will definitely be a guaranteed buy.
You just need to hope for that bundle to come out so you can get that sweet GameCube controller and the adapter.
Yeah, I don't need that.
Yeah, and I think it'll map well to the Switch, whether it be in handheld or even dock mode with the Joy-Con or the Pro.
Yeah, like I think it'd be perfect for handheld. The Switch handheld mode, I don't think I've really ever played it docked, like apart from stupid little Jackbox games. The handheld mode for the Switch has just worked fluidly for every game that I've pretty much played.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this will definitely be one of them.
Something that also looked very fluid with some new movement abilities was the Doom Eternal reveal at QuakeCon that happened about 24 to 36 hours ago now. Have you checked this out? What do you think? Doom fans, not Doom fans, step in the right direction? Miss Hart, lead us in. So,
like, I grew up with Doom. I remember playing original OG Doom on PC way back when. And as I was watching the gameplay for this, the thing that I really thought about was way back in the 90s when they were really worried about violence in video games, you'd always have that stock standard, like in movies, whenever they'd make a fake violent video game to reference, and it would just be like, it'd look like hell, and there's like demons and blood and guts. This gameplay, I feel like, is the perfect representation of what like parents in the 90s were scared their kids were actually seeing with that bad graphics. It's like, here it is now. This is exactly what you were thinking. It is brutal and just awesome. Like watching the big bad guys that they gave it a term where you actually watch the deterioration and like all the guts and the cutting off,
destructible enemies now.
That's it. Yeah. I was just like, oh, like it's gross, but it's so fucking cool. Like just seeing the damage done and just like the explosive nature of like your weapons and the interaction with their with the monsters is awesome, and then obviously the soundtrack's always awesome. Yeah, like I just love with the releases this week that we got like a really, you know, family friendly like Super Smash. It's like, yeah. And then you got Red Dead Redemption. It's like, oh, like, you know, very mature. And then you just got fucking Doom. It's just like,
yeah. Yeah, it definitely was three levels of maturity that was sort of taking place there. I really liked what the destructible enemy sort of focus on it. Any games like that. I remember playing Soldier of Fortune on the PC way back when now, you know, 15 years ago maybe, and the ability to be able to, you know, shoot someone in the knee and blow their leg off from knee down, things like that, where they sort of start to do, like, add that level of realism where it's not just you shoot them, they die, and then there's a death animation, they fall to the ground. I like that you can whittle away at something and the armor falls off them or the flesh or whatever. It just adds another sense of satisfaction to that realism. I like the speed of the game. Like the Doomslayer, he's a lot more mobile in this. Like there was a dash ability in there where he's sort of you know, doing this sort of dash left or right or back and forwards. There's a grappling hook mod on the shotgun where you can sort of use it to grapple up to enemies, and so the Slayer, he was flying around the screen, you know, in the air, traversing various heights and levels, which is great because I don't know if you found it as well, Ali, in the first game or the most recent Doom, it was very fixed as far as the platform. You're pretty much just grounded the entirety of the game, where there's climbing, there's this dash ability. It seems to be a bit more free flowing.
That hook is pretty cool too. I'm like, what do you need that for? And then they showed it, and it's like, oh shit, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so using it, you grapple, you hook onto an enemy, and then you just go flying towards that enemy, and then obviously you just blow them to bits with the shotgun. Heap more death animations they showcased, weapons and armor upgrades. Like the Doomslayer looks like he's been injecting steroids or something. He's gone from a jacked meat hook of a fella to the Hulk in armor. Like he is a big unit now. And then at the end where they tease that final sort of boss, and they're sort of saying that he's almost like there's some hint in there where he was a former Doomslayer or something, they're saying, which I think is cool. So another new enemy type that they've weaved in there. But yeah, how they're trying to create a universe, like a Doom universe now, where there's lore and story and history that they're trying to weave in. I thought that was a surprise, because in any of these games, I know it's you go to hell, you kill a heap of demons, you save the world. And outside of that, I didn't think it's gotten any deeper, but now they're trying to weave in characters and backstory. I think that'll be cool. Dream, what do you think? Have you watched any of this, or have you read up on any of this?
No, I haven't.
You Doom guy?
No, I haven't, and no, I'm not. And not for any particular reason. I think it's just one of the ones that miss me. It's about as much as I can contribute to this. It doesn't appeal to me, the game.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I get that people love it, and I don't take away from that. I'm certainly not trying to take away from that in any way, shape, or form. It's just, it never stood out to me as a game that I absolutely need to be playing. I've played it though. I've played Quake, and which they both seem very similar to me in terms of like the fast speed FPS. Just fucking gore fest. I'm interested in Doom as a cultural reference and as a part of the gaming history. I was just thinking while you were talking, Doom has its own port, which is 666. So for way back when they used to have to connect directly, and there wasn't sort of an established, web platform that you could go to way back in the 90s, they had their own dedicated port. So, along with like your mail servers and things like that, it's like one of the only video games to have a port. I thought that was cool. Ali talking about, how it's the thing everyone feared in the 90s, the Columbine shooting, the two students responsible. One of them had a Doom map that was made to represent the high school. It's regularly referenced in any sort of case about how violence in video games impacts what kids do in real life. I think it's fascinating on that level, but as a game, I fucking could be asked.
Yeah. No, it's true. I think he's both nailed a lot of sort of key talking points as far as this game has transcended from just being a gore first-person shooter to something that is fixed into a lot of our cultural psyche. One other thing that they've brought in with Doom Eternal is this new invasion mechanic where other real-life players can actually invade your single-player experience, similar to what happened in Dark Souls. So someone can jump into your game as a demon and try and fuck you up, or potentially maybe help you against some other demons as well. So that'll, I think, put a little bit of variety into your gameplay where you could be traversing hell or whatever, you know, area of the universe you're in, and some rando just jumps in and rips your head off. I think that's pretty cool. I like that. There's a bit of uncertainty added to the mix.
Yeah, that didn't actually. That was a bit like offside. I didn't actually anticipate that kind of element into the game, but I think it could work. Discussing lore though with Doom, I don't think it needs it. I didn't think it needed it. But
it feels unnecessary, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just, I'm like I don't need lore. Just I
just give me gore.
I land here. I kill things.
Yeah,
that's I'm happy with that.
It's definitely what
I don't need no reason.
It's definitely what the franchise is known for, isn't it? Definitely not the movie starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Oh, that movie was bad.
Yeah.
I remember the only version of that I watched was a burnt copy that I had, which had English subtitles, but it was in French. That was an experience.
Le BFG.
That would suck.
It just starts off, it's just, when the Doom comes in, it just goes, a Doom. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be great.
I probably would have made the movie actually better watching it like that than
Probably
in its
was,
original
you know what,
form.
More
probably
engaging.
The only thing
more
I liked
caution.
about that movie is when they actually shifted it to first-person shooter mode, when he became Doom guy and he's shooting the gun from how it looks in the video game. I like that, but the rest of that movie sucked ass. Anyway,
One day.
moving on. And the next bit of news comes to us via way of Megan Farakamesh. Apologies if I've butchered that. And this article was found at The Verge. And the headline reads, Discord will start selling games. And the article goes, Discord is looking to supply games directly to its users, the company announced today. They're just rolling out a store beta to 50,000 Canadian users who will be selected from the platform's Nitro subscribers at random. Its launch lineup includes Saints Row the Third, Metro Last Light Redux, Super Meat Boy, Hollow Knight, and Starbound. Ugh. Discord's games offerings will be curated by employees with the goal of creating a, quote, local bookstore, end quote, vibe of hand-picked choices. The company also plans to produce, quote, first on Discord, end quote, titles, indie games exclusive to platform for 90 days, as well as a universal library. This feature will allow Discord users to pull games from their computers and launch them directly from Discord, regardless of whether or not it requires another launcher. And then they go on to say that the store will be driven by, quote, friendships and playing together, end quote. So, Discord trying to come in against Steam and all the other gaming outlets. Are they pissing in the wind here? Is there any chance of this succeeding? I think it's silly. I think no one's going to ever replace Steam, but I don't know. I
don't get it. I don't know why they thought that they... if they have something that they've got set up and it's going to be fucking awesome, can't wait to hear about it. But at this point in time, I don't think any of us are going to, venture away from Steam. And at this stage, we are already, as PC users, we're already, sometimes stuck between certain, companies that restrict us to playing their games through their portals, whether it... Battle.net's not too bad because we obviously have a few different things through there and it's a pretty stable... server, but when we have to go through Ubisoft portal or something like that,
or Origin,
exactly. And then we have those elements where it's if you go through that, then you can't play against people that are on Steam or whatever, and then we get those restrictions. So I don't understand where they think that people would be I'll sign up to another one. I don't know.
I don't use Discord. To the bane of 8-Bit. I am the bane of 8-Bit's Discord channel.
It's true. We've actually got a sub forum in there about that exactly
just about my
And you'd know if you actually went on there.
Oh, there you go. Fucking know. I had a chat with Jono about it recently. I actually tried getting better, but anyway, I as a product enhancement, though, I completely understand this, and I don't necessarily think it's a bad move. Like, particularly if they're saying things like, even if the game sits on another I'll say another storefront or launcher, that you can still access it from within Discord. So from a product perspective, just keeping everyone within Discord is kind of the goal, and to do things like to just have an in-game, or to sort of be an in-game chat channel isn't really enough, because a lot of games do that on their own now. So it makes sense to kind of do something else. The hook is, of course, in the exclusives or the first to Discord titles that they might be able to bring. It could be a cool little indie niche thing, and I think that's probably what they would look at targeting, because they're never going to be getting, you know, the big AAA hitters as exclusives or first to Discord. That's never going to happen. So it's all going to be in the indie titles. I can't see anyone really adopting it from the word go, like to purchase games through there. But like that said, I mean, if they're selling them for 10% cheaper, then why wouldn't you? I don't think it's a bad idea. It doesn't sound completely crazy to me to do this. But like, again, I think it's all down to the exclusives. Like, that's really what the whole battle between Sony and Microsoft is at the moment. It's about exclusives.
Yeah.
And I think I don't think cross-platform is going to be an issue if they're letting you access it. I wonder now. I wonder if you purchased it through Discord and you're using their launcher, does it allow you to play cross-platform? It'd have to, because the servers would all be dedicated. They'd all, you know, it's not their servers that you're connecting through. It's not Steam servers that you're connecting through. So you should be able to play other people who use Steam.
Depends. It depends. Like, I think you hit it right on the head. They're never going to go toe to toe for the big AAA titles, Steam and Origin, or even sort of Uplay and stuff. Like they confirmed the other day that Fallout 76 won't be purchasable via Steam. You just got to do it via the Bethesda launcher and things like that, and that's got a few PC players offside. But as you said, I don't care. I've got no allegiance to Steam or generic web-based outfit XY.
Yeah.
If I can buy the game from there and get good service at a good price, I don't care where it's coming
and play with
from,
my friends,
as long as the game runs.
Yeah, and play with my friends, and that's it. Yeah.
I mean, if no restrictions are being put in place, if there's no like hiccups, if there's no server issues, then yeah, I guess, you know, you wouldn't fucking frown at it. But a person that's like kind of not OCD, but like kind of like all my eggs in one basket, you know, I don't know. Switching between certain things just kind of pisses me off sometimes. And especially if it comes to updating as well.
This is the crazy thing about gamers that always baffles me about why it matters.
Here we go.
No, I get it. I agree with you, Ali. Like, when you know you can just switch on your PC, it makes turning on the PS4 that much harder. And I don't know why, but it's true. Like, it's just true. But fuck, like, it baffles me why it should matter that you go through one front instead of another when the service is good. Like no one plays, aside from the FIFA players and maybe Titanfall 2 players, no one's going through Origin for anything. And that's
Battlefield.
On Battlefield, but you know, those exclusive games. But people already have a reason to be in Discord, so that's why I think this has a shot. Is because so many people use Discord. It's got a huge customer base already.
150 million. Is their registered users.
That's like almost twice. That's almost. I'm not even going to try and do the math here. But anyway, that's a lot of people. It's like 149,999,999 more than me. There you go. There's some math.
Yep, that's logic is sound.
Yeah. Next story.
Yeah, okay, so the last the last topic that I wanted to sort of sit and discuss with you two comes off the back of the Dead Cells review controversy tied into Filip Miucin, who is now a former employee of IGN, who got into some hot water this week when he released his review for Dead Cells, a game that's just dropped on the Nintendo Switch. And from what they've since now disclosed and discovered, he pretty well ripped off a review by Boomstick Gaming, a smaller YouTube channel. So I'll grab a little bit of information from Jason Schreier over Kotaku. And so this stems back to Tuesday evening. A small YouTuber named Boomstick Gaming published a video with the title, "IGN copied my Dead Cells review, what do I do?" ? In it, he laid out a compelling case that the official IGN review of Dead Cells, written by Miucin, was a rewritten version of his own review, published several days later. On Wednesday, IGN investigated and the outlet fired Miucin that evening. At that time, Miucin had not publicly responded, but he has since released I'm going to use the term apology video very loosely on his YouTube channel. He apologized to Motion Twin, who were the maker of Dead Cells. He also apologized to IGN, but he did not apologize to Boomstick Gaming for pretty well ripping off all his content, almost word for word. But he said he has, in quotes, nothing but the best wishes for him and offered him advice for the future. On the back of that, there was some parts in his apology video where he was saying, no one at IGN deserves all the hate and the negativity that they are getting thrown, as well as immediate friends and family. Apparently, people have hunted down his friends and family social media accounts and are doing the internet things and throwing fire at them as well. Those parts I don't agree with. The video has since been taken down. He's removed it from his YouTube channel because what he also did was he attempted to monetize this apology video on YouTube as well, which got a lot of people up in arms. There's a whole thing, like it's an ongoing saga. There's some other bits where they're talking about him also stealing some stuff to do with the FIFA review. Almost prior to him getting involved, and there's a well researched and woven together backstory now, as far as this has not been the first time that Mr. Filip has gotten creative with his review process, for lack there of a better term.
Yeah, right.
What do you guys think? I don't know which way we should lead off first, because I know Dream's been chomping at the bit to get into this, but maybe you could sort of be a counterpoint.
I'll jump in.
Let's go.
I'll start.
All right.
I'll start just so that
Get the firecracker going.
No. All right. First of all, who hasn't fucking cheated at work once? You know what I mean? Who hasn't cut a corner?
Cut a corner.
Yeah, I know it's a big corner. But I just want to try and take my minute here and just put this into context. Okay. This is a work fuck up. Yeah, this is a guy who thought he could get away with cutting a corner at work. This is a guy who probably should have played a game that he most likely didn't play at all. Got to his deadline, probably a couple of hours before his deadline, realized that he's fucked and just thought he'd wing it. Okay? Bad work ethic. I love this story though, because this story is just like another example of, and then the internet went crazy. And like, it's like the internet's just waiting around the corner for this guy now, just waiting for the chance to jump him when he comes around the corner. Like, it's fucked up to be absolutely messaging friends and family because all you did was rip off a review. It's stupid. Is he an idiot? Yes. Did he do something wrong? Yes. Is it plagiarism? Yes. Did he get fired? Yes. Did IGN do the right thing? Absolutely. They did the best possible thing I think they could have under the circumstances to dismiss him immediately and then apologize, most importantly, apologize to Boomstick. I was going to say Boomstick. I've got Hearthstone on the mind. But this guy didn't like steal money from a charity, you know? He's not like Hitler. He's just a dumb dickhead who fucked up at work. So I think that like, and yeah, he's a dickhead for trying to monetize this video. This guy obviously doesn't strike me as a real lateral thinker. But like, I actually think that all the right things to happen as a remediation, to remediate this thing have happened. And Boomstick's come out probably a little bit more famous for it as well. So, you know, everyone suffers. This guy suffered enough, and I think that's fine. I just love that the internet's just like, I don't know, fuck man, you can't double cross the internet. It'll just savage you.
It's a problem. Yeah. Everyone has a voice, and you're going to hear. You always gonna get like the most extremes, like just going for it. Like they have nothing to lose, but they still like felt the need to. Like I didn't know that they went out and like wrote to his friends and his family. Like that's just psychotic.
It is. It is.
That's absolutely psychotic. Like I didn't even know about that part. Like I could only imagine how disappointed like members and like from IGN who believed in him, gave him the job, and who worked alongside with him, and then found out that, you know, it's to have a one-off is like it's bad, but then for this person to like also start finding all these other works that he was copying off is like it's just more daggers.
Yeah.
I also think he took down his video, because I think in his video he actually told Kotaku to keep on finding stuff on him, and so they did.
He took a shot at Jason Schreier.
Yeah, so he did, and he did find more. So, I think IGN did well with how they treated the situation. The guy got fired. He released a terrible apology video. So I guess that kind of shows maybe a little, I don't know, I guess sometimes when you're going through certain extreme situations, maybe you don't think as well, but he didn't apologize the best way he should have. And, but mob mentality.
Yeah.
It's a scary thing. Like he's already done himself a disservice. He worked for one of the leading gaming companies in the world, and he's fucked that up. He's fucked it up so badly on a public basis that he's got no chance with any other gaming company.
Yeah, zero credibility.
So he's fucked that up. You know, his name's out there. He's done bad. He probably can't even really become a serious journalist, because he's done something like plagiarize.
No, he is now world famous for plagiarism, for plagiarizing another journalist's bit of work.
Yeah, so he's essentially fucked himself up royally. Whether like we need to focus on him anymore, because I know more drama has spurred about other people reaching out to him to get his side of the story. That doesn't matter to me. Truth be told, if someone did get an interview with him about him explaining his situation, I probably would watch it, because I mean, we're all curious why someone who was offered a position that thousands and thousands and thousands of people out there would be dying to have.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would want to know, why would you do that? Why? You were given a great opportunity, and you just threw it away.
Just again, people are shit. Some people are just bad employees, bad work ethic, lazy, and probably thought he could get away with it. You know, that's why everyone commits fraud, just because they think they can get away with it. Yeah. Yeah. It's it's funny, Brendan.
I'd like, as Ali sort of mentioned, I'd like to see, like, there is some outrage with people reaching out to say, hey, come on my show on whatever medium and let's pick this apart, tell your story, because that video he released was so edited and sort of pre-planned, and like, obviously it's since been taken down. You could probably still find it in a few places on the internet, but there was one line in there where he goes, in quotes, "The bottom line is that what happened with the Dead Cells review was not at all intentional," end quote. Like, there's no, like, if he came out and said, yep, work pressures got to me, I was close to the deadline, I fucked up, I'm really sorry IGN, I'm really sorry Boomstick Gaming, you know, that's a lot better than dancing around, half admitting what you've did, but not, like, where he's given people just enough of a carrot to go, I can see that he's kind of admitting fault there, but then at the same way, he's like, nah, I'm steering clear of it. I never said I'm a plagiarist. I never did this.
Yeah.
He needs to definitely own up to it. And yeah, I don't have an issue with someone giving him a platform to do that, but just ask the questions, answer the questions, no bullshit, no over editing, just get it out there, one cut.
Yeah.
Appease the audience.
Yeah, if you've got a case to make it, and and then let the internet go crazy over that. I really want to reinforce here, like, no one deserves to be outraged by this, because it's not really a thing to be outraged by. He didn't provide financial advice to a bunch of people to rip them out of, their mortgage, their money and stuff. He didn't, like, again, steal money from a charity. He didn't supposedly, raise money for a good cause and run away with it. Like, he literally just copied a review. And if you bought the game based on his review and you're upset about that, you can take solace in the fact that someone else had the same opinion. And those were actual thoughts by someone else. It's not like a company paid him off to write. You know what I mean? Like, no one deserves to be fucking outraged here. Like,
I think the only people that are allowed to be outraged is IGN, his colleagues, and the people whose work may have been,
and his mum
used.
And his mum. His mum.
She's not outraged. She's just disappointed.
Yeah, exactly. That's.
I'm not mad. I'm just.
I'll tell you what, though. I'm going to throw Filip a lifeline here because I know he's listening. Because I have the most genius idea for what he should be doing next. And go with me on this. Tell me what you think of this, because I think this is actually a bit of genius. But I think everything I think is typically a bit of genius. Anyway, all right. So he should start a YouTube channel where he does game reviews, but they are word for word someone else's reviews. Every single...
I needed to guess if it's real or fake.
No. Every single one of them is ripped off. But at the end of it...
You've got to find them?
At the end of it, just as a little nod, he credits the reviewer. That's what he should be doing. I don't know if you can monetize that. Probably not. But I think he should just totally lean in and be... and let the internet savage him. Again and again and again. I think there's a money-making opportunity here for him. And he sounds like an absolute scoundrel, so I can't imagine why he wouldn't go for it.
This has nothing to do with it, but I'm just out of curiosity. How old is he? Do we know how old he is?
That has a lot to do with it, actually, I think. I don't know.
I'd say, just looking at him, I'd say he's late 20s, maybe 30s. I don't know. I'll quickly check the internet and see if it tells me.
Can I ask? Because I feel like we all should have, the internet equivalent of a go bag ready, just in case the ire of the people turns on us. What's your plan when inevitably someone goes up against you, Ali? Like, when the internet turns on you, what are you going to do?
They've already turned on me. When they found out that I didn't like Last of Us,
that's fair.
Pitchforks and fucking all that shit, digital pitchforks.
That's pretty fair.
No.
I reckon
he's on LinkedIn. Do you think I should send him a connection request on LinkedIn?
Absolutely. Bring him on. I'll Frost versus Nixon this motherfucker.
I think the main thing that really is coming from this is that first of all, he did journalism in the most critical and short fused community ever, which is the gaming community. So good luck to anyone that fucks up in there.
To do anything though within video games is a death wish. It's a suicide mission really waiting to fulfill itself. Like, if the internet ever turned on me, I'd Sean Murray. I'd just fucking vanish. You'd never see me again. You'd never hear from me. I'd delete everything, all my socials. It's all gone. I can get by.
And then you pop back with the re-envisioned product that you promised to start with and be like, surprise, fuckers!
Yeah. Look, and everyone would love me. Everyone would love me and talk about how I've finally delivered.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm really curious to see what happens if he does resurface and give someone or accept someone's offer to jump on their platform and talk it out more, because it's so wishy-washy the way he's gone about making amends with this video I put together. I really recommend anyone that hasn't watched it, give it a look, because it is a good laugh. It's some eye-rolling
there anymore,
bullshit. Yeah, but it'll be somewhere. It still might
Someone's
be cached
got
in
it.
Google somewhere, so it'll still be kicking around.
How ironic.
Yeah. Yeah, so that happened this week. IGN, Boomstick Gaming, those poor suckers at Dead Cells, at Motion Twin, all getting some negative press attached to this because of Filip Miucin, the now former Nintendo editor of IGN. Nearly lasted 12 months, started in October last year. So all the best on your future endeavors, you dodgy fuck.
I kind of like him now. I've always got a
like a
soft spot for
scoundrel.
people who like to bend the rules.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
All right. Is there anything you two lovely people would like to say before we start moving on out here for another week?
Big middle finger to NATO J for being the reason we copped a 1-star review in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I still want to hold off on that to try and get him on here. And I don't know how, but that review, I just jumped on there a second ago to have a look. It's actually been edited and there's been more notes added to that review.
What? What?
Yeah.
It's got to
So,
be someone we know. Who?
Tune in next week. Maybe we'll actually unveil that review in its entirety next week on episode 116. With or without NATO, we'll do it.
How much does someone hate NATO that they go in after listening to him again to edit the poor review they left of him? Yeah.
Yeah. Scalding hot.
Yeah, I don't know. We plugging? We doing plugs?
Yeah, we can do some plugs.
Shout out to Chinglish for hitting 2,000 subscribers this week. Well done, mate.
Nice work.
You can find me everywhere on Twitter and Instagram at SalimTD.
You can find me everywhere at Miss Ali Hart. Also, check out NATO's Twitter because he's been doing a D&D campaign and I think that has started up again. So if you want to hear us just be assholes to each other but in different characters, that's a good listen/watch. So that's
Can confirm.
most of those days.
Can confirm. Find us all as a collective at We Are 8-Bit on all the various socials. On YouTube as well. We've had a couple of reviews and a few half-informs pop up on the YouTube channel this past week. So we've got content up there from Sammy Deej, John O'Peck, as well as Drew from the House of Mario popping his video cherry this week with Flat Heroes, which looks good. So go give them a watch. Check out hashtag 8-Bit Collective on the socials for interactions and linkages to all 10 of the podcasts available in the collective. You can find me everywhere at Brendan8bit and find the best in audio-based equipment at audiotechnica.com.au. It looks good, it sounds good, it feels good because it's the best. Get it on your head however you can and get some of their streetwear on your body because it is some of the coolest clothes around. Until next week, 8-Bit Nation, it has been our pleasure to serve you for this episode 115. Much love.
Stay hungry.
You've been listening to The Hungry Gamers, one of many gaming and geek culture related podcasts from the 8-Bit Collective over on 8bit.net. Check out more episodes on your podcast service of choice. And while you're there, please be sure to rate and subscribe. Until next time, boys and girls, stay hungry.